This is a quick video about removing the rear seat from a 2007 Subaru Outback. This information should apply to all models from 2005 through 2009. With the door open, we get a little better view. Removing the rear seat is quite easy, but it's not obvious how to do it. The rear seat cushion is held on by two latches. Now I've pulled the passenger side front seat forward to give us a little more room. And if you look under here, you can see that latch. And there it is. Now there's one of these latches on each side. One on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. This one's on the passenger side. And the way it works, you just have to give the seat a real good hard yank. Get your hand underneath it and give it a good upward. Okay, I managed to get this side up. It actually took me both hands to pull it up, but that's one side is up. And we'll go over to the driver's side and do the same. Now we are on the driver's side. And you come around and there is our other latch. Right there. Same deal. Both your hands under here and give it a good hard yank upward. Okay, now we have got both sides loose. We'll get a look at that latch, and there it is. Just like that. That little U-shaped latch goes in that receptacle right there. Now we have a problem of lots of seat belts. These need to just sort of be pulled out of the way. As you pull this away, as you pull the seat away, you'll need to push these seat belts get the seat belts out of the way, and now the seat can just be lifted up and away. One thing to notice here on the car side is there is this hook right here. Now that hook corresponds to this loop right here. Now when you put this seat back in, you want that loop to latch underneath that hook. I will just go ahead and remove this entire seat. So you can see what it looks like outside of the car. Flip it over. And there's the other side. And there's our little loop that we have to be mindful of. Now back at the car. Removing the rear seat exposes a lot of things. Now those are the receptacles that those little hooks go into. We expose some electrical wiring. We expose some plumbing related to the fuel tank. More electrical wiring, important junctions. Now, here we expose important bolts related to removal of this piece right here. If you're going to be removing any of the rear quarter trim, you have to remove this piece, and in order to remove this piece, you have to take out this bolt, and in order to take out this bolt, you have to remove the rear seat cushion. Okay, we shall now put the rear seat cushion back in. The rear seat cushion has now been placed back into the car. And we will sort of slowly maneuver it backwards. You need to pull up all of these seat belts first. And now working from the passenger side, again, grab those seat belts and pull them through. Okay, we've got the seat belts pulled through. It's a little difficult because there's not a lot of room to work there. Now we are back on the driver's side. And we've got to make sure our little hook. Now there's our little hook. And we can just barely see that little latch. It's right under there. Now, in order to get that latch to take, what you want to do is lift the entire seat while you're pushing it back, so that that little metal U gets underneath that hook. Now, as I pull forward a little bit, it doesn't come. That's because it's hooked, and that's what we want. Now, we have to push down on the front clips. Okay, we look towards the front, and there's our little latch. We have to push that back to where it lines up with that little socket there. Good. Now we go over to the passenger side, and it's the same thing. And there's our little hook. We got to push it in, and it lines up with this little socket here. Okay, now we've got that one in its socket. On the passenger side, just a good push down, and you hear that nice loud snap. Okay. On the driver's side, we're just going to push the seat down so that that little U-shaped piece of metal pops into that socket. You should hear a nice loud snap, just like that. Okay. Now we have successfully pulled out the rear seat cushion and put it back in again. That's all there is to it.